You are entering a dimension of sound. You carefully come in through the threshold with wonder, yet skepticism. You see the faint shape of an outline of a robot arm petting a cat. You faintly hear the haunting sounds of a man playing a tambourine. The sound augments into two men playing with a soundboard. You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Stay a while and listen.
And now, where Nephilim news meets biblical views, you'll find broken memes and shattered dreams. Give it up for Basil and Guns.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is March 4th, 2020, episode 179, and this week, Brainware arrival and VR pain relief. My name's Basil.
And this is Gons. Basil is back.
I'm back, you're back, we're all back together, and things are right with the world. Gons, you did a great job last week, very impressive. Always good to know that I can get wiped off the face of the earth, and the show will still keep going. I'm sure that pains the elites to know that they'll have to take out both of us to stop the truth from getting out. So, Gons, let's just get right into it. Let's start with the Flippy update, baby.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Okay, and if you're new to the show, you will quickly learn that Flippy is the colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. And this week...
That's better. I totally screwed that up last week, so there you go.
That's okay. It's good to... it's good to realize that saying things correctly is harder than it looks, folks. I might make it easy. Make it look easy. But today we're on MSN.com. The headline is, the new burger chef makes $3 an hour and never goes home. It's a robot, in parentheses. I kind of just wanted to get in a little bit because, first of all, it seems like the whole world is doing Flippy updates now.
They're catching up.
They're catching on, man. Everybody knows you got to keep an eye on Flippy. For a long time there, Flippy proper, the original burger flipping robot, did not get a lot of attention, but Flippy articles are popping up everywhere, man.
Their impact is real.
That's right. Just another reason why, if you listen to this show, you are ahead of the game. Things we were talking about years ago are now a reality.
That's really, really useful knowledge, too.
I know.
Hey, you guys know about Flippy?
Gotta know about Flippy, man. I knew about Flippy years ago. So the article reads, in a test kitchen in a corner building in downtown Pasadena, California, Flippy the robot grabbed a fryer basket full of chicken fingers, plunged it into hot oil. Its sensors told it exactly how hot, then lifted, drained, and dumped maximally tender tenders into a waiting hopper. And then there's just about 6 more paragraphs of just describing how a robot makes food. So I'm going to skip that because we all know here how Flippy does its good work. Then it continues, off the shelf robot arms have plunged in prices in recent years. From more than $100,000 in 2016 when Miso Robotics first launched to under $10,000 today, with cheaper models coming in the near future. So there you go. First of all, when we first found Flippy, it was about $100,000 per robot. Now we're down under $10,000.
Yeah,
which is just the economics of Flippy are starting to work out.
It's a normal progression, right? That's going to keep going down.
It just keeps going down. That's capitalism, baby. As a result, Miso can offer Flippies to fast food restaurant owners for an estimated $2,000 per month on a subscription basis.
Subscription?
So like everything today, our entertainment, our music, our food delivery, even underpants, you can get on a subscription basis nowadays. And now you can get a robot to cook you burgers for only $2,000 a month, breaking down to about $3 per hour. The actual cost will depend on customers' specific needs. Now it goes into this next sentence, which is it presents some things that we need to talk about.
The end of humanity.
Yeah, a human doing the same job costs $4,000 to $10,000 and up per month, depending on a restaurant's hours and local minimum wage. And robots never call in sick. Where in the country can I get a job at a fast food place flipping burgers for $10,000 a month? You know, we occasionally run into jobs and gigs that we hear about that really is a tempting offer to shut down a podcast and start doing that job. If I could flip burgers for $10,000 a month, I don't know if I would have any time for doing podcasts, Guns.
You'd be flipping burgers.
Yeah, I've
putting your personal touch on all the patties.
Throughout the past couple of years, I've picked out a lot of really. I've had some great job picks for the kids. You know, I'm trying to let the kids know what the future holds for them and where they can make all their money. Never did I think that I should be recommending becoming a burger flipper at a fast food joint, and you'll get $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year for flipping burgers. Anyways, so to get into the math of Flippy, you know, if you get your subscription, it turns out to be about $3 an hour. I'm assuming that's probably for a restaurant that's open at least 12 hours a day. But there you go. That's why Flippy is going to take over the world. Let's see. Recently, Miso Robotics has raised more than $13 million in investment and is currently trying to raise an additional $30 million to fund its push into fast food kitchens from small investors on equity crowdfunding platform Seed Invest. I don't know. I think investing in Miso Robotics on Seed Invest might be our ticket out of here, Gons. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, well, especially now that it's disseminating. You know, the prices are going down, but there's got to be like it'll find its equilibrium, right? It'll find a nice price to settle in and won't go much cheaper then. And then distribution will be the game. And we will become mighty rich.
Oh my gosh, I'm poking around on seedinvest.com. It's pretty much where Canarians should go, because we all know.
Yeah,
we all
people
know
come here for financial advice.
That's right.
From us.
With what you learn on this show, you'll know to invest in Flippy the robot. We've got Graze, a lawn mowing robot. We've got Monogram Orthopedics, linking 3D printing, machine learning, and robotics for high precision implants. This is the place to be.
Yeah, well, that's a theme that'll come back around in this episode when we talk about some of the neuro brain technology.
Yeah. So there you go. I just wanted to get everybody an update on exactly the math, how the math of Flippy is working out. And I think it's the math of Flippy that really shows its promise for really putting us all out of work.
Yeah. And in the meantime, as the robot arms are taking over in the kitchen, we have Satanists running around.
Demonic power!
Classic.
A Fayette County man says that he was doing Satan's work when he choked two people. State police say that Terry Murphy admitted to using crystal meth for days before he broke into his neighbor's house over the weekend. Murphy allegedly yelled that he was chasing a demon dog into their home on behalf of Satan. He then attacked a woman and a teenager before running off.
He's a Satanist!
That was WPXI.com reporting important Satan man on the loose, and that's where the story ends. And so I think it's our duty, Basil, to at least put a little, to wrap things up.
I rebuke thee.
Make sure that this guy is, taken care of.
I love how he said that. He was chasing a demon dog on the behalf of Satan. It's like Satan's dog escaped out of the doggy yard, and
the most bizarre story.
He was playing animal control for the devil. Yeah, meth is a heck of a drug, people.
Yeah, let's be careful out there. All right, moving on here.
I'm going to jump into this. Moving on. Finance.yahoo.com.
Okay.
Banknotes may be spreading. Okay, real quick. So we've heard, Gons, and you told me this, but I believe it.
Yeah.
That if we say the name of the disease that is currently has everybody up
celebrity
in arms,
disease.
Yes, let's call it Budweiser bacteria.
Yeah, there you go.
If we say Budweiser bacteria in this, we'll get demonetized on YouTube, is what you tell me. So we're going to try our best to not say Budweiser bacteria. Banknotes may be spreading Budweiser bacteria. World Health Organization warns. The World Health Organization has advised people to use contactless technology instead of cash, as banknotes may be spreading Budweiser bacteria. The infectious COVID-19, I think we're safe there, virus could be carried on the surface of banknotes for several days, the World Health Organization warned on Monday night. To stop the spread of the disease, people should use contactless payments where possible and wash their hands after handling cash, a World Health Organization spokesman said. The Bank of England, who also recognizes that banknotes, quote, can carry bacteria or viruses, and encouraged frequent hand washing. Yada yada yada. Goes into China. Goes into what we would expect, which is cash bad. Everybody,
don't touch cash.
Cash is gonna kill you. Everybody needs to go get their chip implanted into their hand so they don't need to use cash anymore. You
know what that means?
What?
Bitcoin go to moon.
I like that one. It's been a while since I've heard that one. So yeah, I mean, we're all aware of the war on cash bad. We have to use the more regulatable ways of buying and selling so they can track everything using your credit card or automatic transfers or PayPal or something like that. Because, if you're out there using cash like the good old days, they can't monetize your buying habits.
Yeah.
So
you must be laundering money if you're using cash.
Yes, only criminals use cash. Criminals and Budweiser bacteria fanatics. So there you go, folks. Keep your cash around. Don't listen to them. But do wash your hands. Washing your hands is of utmost importance right now.
While we are still under the fiat paper monetary system, stories like this is pretty funny because you got people that would just be like, oh no, I don't want to hold this cash anymore. Government, just take my cash.
Take my cash away. Yeah. Take it, please. I don't want it.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
Okay. Moving on. I like this. We're just zipping through. This is fun.
Yeah.
Let's get a little Zoltan update.
Transhuman, make way for the Homo superior.
That's right. Zoltan Istvan, former leader of the transhumanist political party, now running against Donald J. Trump as a Republican. So he's getting a lot of time and spotlight and opportunities to push his transhuman agenda for if he was president. A few episodes ago, we went through his entire platform, which was just so interesting. I recommend people go check that out. But here on Vox.com, it's an article that is headlined President Trump faces few real challengers in the Republican primary on Super Tuesday. But they did mention Zoltan Istvan. So he is getting some attention. And he's got the best slogan out there, which is upgrading America. It's a very well done slogan for the campaign. Kind of like, America first or make America great again, but upgrade America. It's
better than microchip America,
It is better than microchip America. So tell me what's going on with Zoltan here.
So, all right. So this Vox article just mentions Zoltan by name. There's not much else to it, but I thought it would be important for us to at least start to document a little bit of what he says and what he sounds like, especially now that he's entering into the realm of politics, a lot of the way he speaks, the way he carries himself, and all that kind of stuff matters.
He's a man of the people.
He is.
Man of the transhuman.
Right. And we'll probably start playing more clips of him as he does debates and speeches and stuff because, again, it's important to keep in tune with that side of things.
We gotta keep an eye on this guy. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And so here's a lecture that he did. This was published back in January of this year, 2020. Mm-hmm. And this is a lecture on how transhumanist technologies will change everything. And here's him kind of ranting about starting with cochlear implants.
We don't really have deafness anymore on planet Earth. People that are born that can't hear end up having a cochlear implant put in, if they're allowed. There are some cultural differences too. But deafness as a disability has been mostly wiped out due to radical technologies. Again, transhumanist technologies. And of course, one of these things is putting implants in your body, implants in your brain, implants in your arms, as I have in my hand, and doing all sorts of things. We call this biohacking, where you actually put all sorts of stuff in yourself to monitor what's going on and also to help you do things that you wouldn't be able to do, like hear or see.
All right, let's pause right there. So already he's so nonchalant about the fact that he has a microchip in his hand. Yeah. You almost forget. It's like, oh yeah, no big deal. Yeah, it's weird.
We all are going to have that someday. It's so interesting watching this particular video of him. First of all, the things you note, I thought that he talked way weirder, but I think maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but you think of the leader of the transhumanist party, you think he's
wackadoodle.
Ancient
aliens guy or something.
We will make the transhumanist agenda for all mankind. I am a human like you. But he's really got just a man of the people vibe, man. He looks like a regular, just sort of Midwestern type of guy, and just talks about all these transhumanist things like you said, like it's no big deal.
Yeah. All right. Just one more little segment here.
Mm-hmm. So the idea of brain plants is really complex. I was doing an interview earlier and they were asking about the future of work. And where I'm from, Silicon Valley in Los Angeles, California area, there's a couple different companies now like Neuralink with Elon Musk that are working on basically brain implants in order to allow your brain to interface directly with machine intelligence. Mm-hmm. Now, why is this important? Well, machine intelligence is important because, already like in Wall Street, for example, there's a bunch of mid-level traders that are being wiped off the floors. And the reason is because they can't compete with algorithms. So what a lot of kind of entrepreneurs want to do is, in order to have humans keep up with machines, they want to merge our brains with machines so that we can start thinking in real time in the internet. So the thing you have in your pocket, cell phone, smartphone, basically can be put in through your head through an implant or a headset. Already in Florida, they're doing things like racing drones around a track and stuff like that, just using brainwave technology. And already you can have conversations in your mind with people through brainwave headsets and brainwave implants and things like that. And we're going to get to a point, Elon Musk says there'll be a commercial device in 5 years. I don't know if that's the case, but definitely within 10 years, there's a good chance that there will be a commercial device on the market that will allow you to talk to your friend or give a speech in real time like I'm doing now, where people would actually hear it and listen and maybe answer back, and you would hear it in your head. So the question, are we going to get brain implants? It's almost 100% yes.
All right.
Almost 100% yes.
Almost 100% that we're getting brain implants.
I could have told you that.
10 years, commercial product, all that kind of stuff. Wow, that's crazy.
A little sweaty.
Politician.
He's a little sweaty.
A little bit. Yeah. He got a little. So yeah.
He must be a real boy.
Yeah. He must still be human.
Still, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Still,
despite
human.
his microchip.
Yes. So there you go. Very, very interesting guy. And if you missed our episode where we ran through his platform, really just some very extreme, sort of in the same way that Bernie is, got some radical ideas. Zoltan's got some radical ideas as well, but they mostly include turning us all into robots.
That's true. And it's appealing to a class of entrepreneurs that are just, always trying to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary. It's like, oh, if anybody really just dives right in, it's those folks that are really like trying to integrate.
I thought it was interesting how his example of how, technology is gonna, lift up the working man. Usually, like Flippy, you hear how we're gonna work alongside robots, or VR will let the elderly or disabled control robots and work in restaurants or manufacturing facilities. But he was like, no. Traders, mid-level Wall Street traders will merge with machines in order to beat the algorithms. Like, whoa, okay, probably the least.
There's got to be a reason why he's where he's at politically. He must be having conversations with these people, and these people are like, yeah, if we could just do that, we can totally beat the system.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, let's make it happen.
To beat the robot traders. I get it. We're all looking to beat robots in one way or another.
The war has begun. All right, so let's move on. But it kind of connects. This whole thing connects, really.
Are you ready to become cyborg?
All right, so this is medgadget.com. Yes, so it's becoming laughter is the only way to deal with it because it's becoming so literal. Notion. Wait, hold on. Did I link the wrong article here? Ooh, oops. I think I did. That's not
Oopsies. No, that's the right one.
Is it?
It's the one that I saw.
Oh, Notion brain computing platform. Okay, yeah. Interview with AJ Keller, CEO of Neurosity. Right. So, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but basically, we've talked about how like headsets and the Google Glass, how it failed because people just didn't want to have a giant computer on their face.
Wearables have been a contentious industry. And
I remember one year you had predicted that wearables will become more prevalent. I don't remember what year it was, but it hasn't really caught on too much. But I think the practical side of things is starting to catch up, and the look and the design and all that stuff will become just an additional thing, an additional feature to the practical usage.
Yeah.
But it says here, Neurosity, a neurotech company based in New York, has developed the Notion brain computing platform. The system has a huge range of potential medical applications, including monitoring a patient's mental health.
Always got to be medical stuff.
Always. That's the entryway.
Always medical.
It's the gateway. Yeah. To diagnosing concussions, to allowing paralyzed patients to control electric wheelchairs. The headset can do this because it incorporates sensors that detect brain activity and translates those signals into specific commands. Notion is the first brain-reading computer, according to the people behind the technology, and despite being able to connect to the internet, it is largely self-reliant, incorporating a CPU, RAM, sensors, and apps within the headset itself. The computing processes take place within the headset device, which is as powerful as a MacBook Air, rather than on a remote computer, which sets the device apart from other neuro devices that can read brainwaves. So
if I may, real quick, weird little statement where it says, despite being able to connect to the internet, it is largely self-reliant. I guess it means if something's connected to the internet, then it's not self-reliant. But I don't agree with that, but
you are part of the hive, Basil, if you connect to the internet.
Yeah, we've reported a lot on brain computer interfaces, one of the things we track on this show. And so you might be thinking, whatever, there's another one, who cares? But that's the big thing about this. What's been keeping these brain computer interfaces, BCIs, back is that usually they have a bunch of wires and they have to connect to an external computer, and you can only like wear it in a chair at a desk. But this one, first, the most stylish of these types of things. So there you go. You're going to get the early adopters just based on style, but it's the first and only one that is completely self-contained and connects to the internet. So you are wearing a fully functional computer on your head that can connect to the internet, has its own apps, all that kind of stuff. And they have some videos which are very interesting, so simple, kind of boring, but are really the big steps forward in why somebody would, jump
practical
on these
application.
things.
And the main one, there's two videos. The first one is of a gentleman who's wearing the headset, and he sits down to read, and because of the smart light that he's got in his house there, the color of the light changes because the mood and his brain waves change. And so there's that, which is okay,
helps
cool, whatever.
Him read easier. He can see.
Yeah. I can imagine all kinds of different scenarios to use that one.
Sure.
And then the other one, which is more interesting. Have you ever tried to look up a recipe, Basil, while you're cooking, and you get your hands all dirty, squashing grapes or something, and
what is this recipe?
I don't know. I'm not a cook. I'm horrible.
Grapes with bare hands.
And then you got to like scroll on your device, and you get grape juice all over. Yeah. So obviously, for such circumstances, this device, this headset device, comes in handy. So the video here shows a woman who puts the headset on. She cracks open an egg or a couple eggs, puts it in a bowl, starts stirring the eggs.
Hands are
meanwhile, hands are on the stirring and the eggs there. And meanwhile, she's looking at a tablet that is sitting on the table, and using her brain waves, she is scrolling through the recipe and reading through. And there you have it, Basil.
So simple, yet
magic.
Probably the most viable reason to work these into your daily technology.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's really come to the point where there's a reason to actually have it in the minds of the consumer. It's like, of course,
because you can scroll.
You can scroll by yourself. You don't have to use your hands to scroll.
It does sound so stupid, but the little scroll wheel on my mouse is broken. So if what happens if I try to scroll it on my computer, it'll scroll like 10 pages at a time. Like I can't just scroll a tiny amount to read something.
Just be so much easier if it was connected to your brain waves.
But there you go. Notion from Neurosity. Fashionable, self-contained, has a lot of potential to be, really one of the first viable wearable computers on your head, reading your brainwaves, connected to the internet. It's everything we've ever feared.
Yep. All right, we got a couple more here, right?
Yeah, I think although because of time, I'll start with this and we can finish it in the ER.
Okay.
But this is from BBC.com, and the headline is "The Surgeon Giving His Patients VR Instead of Sedatives." That's right. And we'll get deeper into this article in the extended report, which I will tell you guys about in just a second. But basically, they're finding that instead of giving a bunch of sedatives or drugs or anesthetic to people in surgery, getting cut open and surgerized, they can just put a VR headset on these people and give them significantly less drugs, and they don't even notice that they're getting cut into. And this is what our mothers have feared all along, that we'll be so stuck in video games we won't even notice if somebody's amputating our leg. So you can check that on the extended report. And before I tell you more about that, Gons, give us today's Nephilim update.
Puppy that looks like cat dog hybrid wins fans online. This cat dog is, I gotta say, it's quite adorable.
Yeah, it is. It's a chimera between a puppy and a cat, and it's going to be used to trick us all into following the Antichrist.
The Nephilim return.
Yes, it's very cute. Make sure to check out the links in the show notes. Okay, Gons, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, everybody, remember, we do another episode of Canary Cry News Talk every single week. We call it our extended report. And you can find that by going to patreon.com/CCNT, like Canary Cry News Talk. That's patreon.com/CCNT. And don't worry, folks, there's no cash. So you'll be able to avoid the Budweiser bacteria. You can stay safe and still give back to the podcast that you love so much. Help us keep the show going. We are entirely listener supported. We do not believe in selling your attention to corporations for our own personal gain, and we can only keep doing this because of the very loyal and generous listeners that we have who sign up to support this show every single month. And when you do that, you get a bunch of fun stuff. We got merch, we got bonus episodes in the form of extended reports. And this week, we're going to talk more about the VR anesthesia. Very interesting. Also, our good buddy over there at SGT Report made it into the mainstream news. We're going to talk about what he's got going on and why he's getting so much attention over at the Wall Street Journal. Let's see. We got Corona-chan fear-mongering aliens. We got all sorts of stuff. Some Bitcoin, cryptocurrency stuff. You're going to want to go check it out. Some more VR horror we got to look out for. So if you want another show, another episode of Canary Cry News Talk every single week, head over to patreon.com/CCNT. Now, here's the thing, folks. Y'all got friends and family and loved ones who are still stuck on the mainstream media, still getting their news from the boob tube. And what you got to do, y'all know what you got to do. You got to grab them by the cage and shake it.
It will kill.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
That's right, everybody. Rattle some cages. Let your friends and family know where to go to get all the important news that they need with a biblical worldview. And there you go. And Nephilim. Don't forget about that. Cat dog on the prowl.
Cat dog.
There you go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. And make sure to tune in next week. But until then, think outside the cage.
They chop up the bodies and put them into the sausage and hamburgers. People are being cannibalized. Look it up.
Look it up.